everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today we are going to be working on a flux spoon. This was a subscriber request, and we are going to use my newly forged swage block that I forged by hand. If you haven't seen the video, links will be in the description down below, so you can go take and check that out. We're going to use this to take and actually form the flux spoon portion of it. We'll probably use this medium-sized block here. As a flux spoon, you don't need actually that much material. We are starting out with 3/8 inch round material, or if you will, 9.5 millimeter. The length of the stock does not matter, but for all intensive purposes, this is about 10 inches of material, or 250 mil. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of drawing out here. Take and get most of this off. So I need to lengthen right in here and isolate a bit of a mass on the end. And the mass on the end that I'm going to isolate is going to be approximately 2 inches, or about 50 millimeter. As you can see, I'm not really doing anything fancy here. I'm just thinning out the center cross section and making it square. Later on we'll worry about this a little further on. Grip it back a little further on with these tongs here. Now I'm going to offset it all to one side. That mass to the front. Bring that shoulder up. And as you can see, it's getting quite dark now. This is where I'll stop hammering on it. We'll go ahead and get this heated up one more time. And we got a little less there. We've got about, I went too far. I was going to do 2 inches, but it looks like we've got 1 1/4 instead. So 1 1/4, whatever that is in millimeters. So it's about inch and 3/8. So about 34.5 millimeters is what we've got there. So we're going to go ahead and heat that up again. Now those tongs there, those are the wolf jaws. I've got a smaller set here that'll probably hold this a little better, and yep, they will. So we'll get this good and heated up. I'm going to shoot this video raw and pretty much straight through, so you guys can see about the approximate time that it takes to do this. So bear with me here, fellas, and ladies, and gents, and anything else. So after I'm going to draw out this material just a little bit more yet, I want to thin it down some more, and then I'm going to go ahead and flatten out that mass that I left on there into essentially just a big flat disc, if you will. That's the goal. So go ahead and go here. This is all done on the flat. If you like using your edges of your anvil, you can go ahead and do that. I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten that all up. And now I'm going to go ahead and round that back off. That square section. Go ahead and just round this up. Working slowly back to myself with the hammer, or feeding into the hammer with the tong hand is a great way of rounding that up. Keeping your stock thicknesses all in check and whatnot. Okay, so there we go. Now we got that mass isolated. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me turn around here. It looks like all that's in focus. Let me go ahead and bring you in a little closer. Woo! There you are. So now that mass is in focus. Now next heat, I'm going to flatten her out. I'm going to flatten this out with the little part up. I want that little nub portion to be sticking upright when I flatten this out. I don't want it laying down. and you'll see why here in a second. If you point it down, when you go to start flattening it out, it can have a tendency to back lap over on itself. That little sharp wall that we've got created there, it can flat back on itself and create a cold shut. So that's not what we're wanting. Get this good and hot. You want a nice bright heat on this. I'm going to set it in the upright position and use full face hammer blows. And we're going to draw off to one side and then hit with the heel of the hammer and draw out the other side. And hit with the toe of the hammer from the center, pulling out to the edge. And the side of the hammer bulging out the front, stretching it, elongating it, all that good stuff. Something important to remember, I'm not tilting where I'm hitting the anvil, I'm just hitting straight down on the material. So there we go. We've kind of got a bit of a spoon shape going, but now we're going to take it back into the forge, and we're going to try to round that shape up a little bit before we go into the swage. So once this is good and thin, it's not going to take long at all. So we're going to go right here to this edge, right here. Yep. Let me flip my little screen around here, ladies and gents. Give me a second, sorry. There we go, now you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, so now we're going to come right out to here, and I'm going to push it and upset it back into itself. It's not going to like that. You just have to keep straightening out the kinks that it's going to provide you, and just keep pushing it back in. Now, granted, if I would have forged it this thin, it wouldn't have been so bad, but live and learn on camera. So that's going to thicken that up. It's going to round it up. So there we are. I want to heat that back up. Be right back with you. Get this all heated up here, and we just continue right on. Alright, good and hot. Yep, and this is with working with thin material that you're trying to upset. This is essentially what you're stuck to doing. I should have stopped way before this happened, and this wouldn't have been that hard to round up, but that's the way it is. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you guys to a little different angle while I put this back in the forge so you guys can see a little bit better what's going on here. Alright, got you all moved. Now we're going to go ahead and continue to work on this. As I said, if this would have been, I left that a little thicker before I did this, it would have been a lot better. But, you know, once again, live and learn, right? Oh, just trying to knock this quick video out before I have to go inside for the evening. Go spend some time with the wife and kids, much needed. Some much needed time. So I just figured I'd show you guys this real quick, and hopefully you like it enough, well enough. All I'm doing there is forging out the parts that are kind of upset near the stem of the spoon. You guys can see that there. The best ideal, like I said, once again, the best ideal for this is do not forge it so thin before you decide to round it up. So forge it out a little bit and then start rounding it up, and then forge it out, thin it out a little more, and then continue to round it up. Now you guys are just going to see a bunch of goofy tapping around. But that's really all this is anyhow. Just a bunch of goofiness on tapping around to round these up perfectly. And at some point, you got to learn to call it good. This is, after all, just a flux spoon. So you may want to grind her off to shape. And it may make more sense than to continue to try to forge this. But this is a good way of practicing getting stuff to perfect rounds. You get to see some of my failures. Kind of how I failed at putting that just right. So get this up to heat again. Remember, it's thin, so it doesn't take long. And you can burn it very easily. So, alright, I'm about done fooling with this here. I think that's smooth enough for me. Yeah, if you want to make it more perfect than what I'm making it, just go ahead and make it more perfect. But as far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for a flux spoon. As you can see there it is, and there it's done. So I'll go ahead and take another heat on this, and we're going to turn that into a spoon. So I'll go ahead and move the camera so where you can see better in the swage block. Okale-dokale. I say that a lot. But now we're going to use a ball peen hammer with our swage block, and we are going to take and dish this thing. Should go pretty quick. In fact, it'll probably go quicker than it looks. So we get that over, scoot it over there. I'm going to go for the bigger one. Right in here. Okay. Just hammer that around. And then we might go to the smaller one here. Get a little extra cup to it. Just like that. Don't neglect working the back areas. And just like so, you've got yourself a flux spoon. And you see here. Now you see some back chopping, some lines on the back here. That's because I went to this just a little too soon. We're going to heat that up and try to continue to force that down in there a little bit. And it should go down in there better this time around. And on the back side, you can just always clean that up with a little bit of rasping or something. That comes from not having the right size swage block for what you're trying to do. Go ahead and get this good and hot. Looks like it is. Alright. So, right back into that swage. Continue to make this cupped. And that will help get this all nice and shaped the way I want it. Voila! It is my flux spoon. So now, I'll flip this around and grab it from the other end with the wolf jaw tongs, which will make it a little nicer, I think. We'll see. There we go. And we can grab that spoon in there. Just give this a little bit of a bend here. The way it bends out of the way. And now we can go ahead and forge out. Now we can go ahead and forge out this other end into our little hanging end. So go ahead and heat that back up. Draw out a little bit of a tenon on the end of this thing, kind of just a way of making an interesting hook. The nice thing about working with round stock is you can really choose what side you want to start squaring things up on. So one thing I really like, or have been enjoying, I should say, are these little on the diamond things. I've been doing hooks, forcing them on the diamond, and I'm really liking those. So that's what I want to shoot for here. But you can see how that's turning out just like so. So, go ahead and keep forging that. Now, something that some of you may know and some of you may not know, I like to make every handle end a little different. John Switzer at Black Bear Forge likes to do this as well. Make each one of his handle ends just slightly different. And that slight difference takes and helps you find the tool that you're looking for just by feel. So you don't even have to look at it to know just by the feel in your hands that, hey, that's the tool I'm going for. And when you know that it's the tool you're going for, there is no reason of having to look around and hunt for it, which makes it very nice. So I'm just going to do a little something fun on this end. For those of you who like to watch this sort of thing. If you don't like to watch this sort of thing, you guys have probably already left. So now, I'm going to just continue in that same direction and create a double offset thing. And this I'm going to draw out to just its own little separate curly cue. So now we're going to go ahead, that's cold enough. I can bring it back up to heat with hammering, but that's what we got to forge for. Excuse me. Excuse me again. So, alright. This up here should be pretty close to temp. So I'm going to just draw out this little tiny bit here. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's fine. Now the important part is when it gets cold like this, you can stress that material real easy. So now's the good time to just go ahead and put it back in the fire and take another heat at it. So that's what we're going to do. Alright. Now I want to just draw that thing right down to the tip. It's going to make it nice. It's going to make its own nice little curly cue. Make sure that's all nice and clean. It's good clean forging. So here's what we got so far. 2 separate stages of drawing out. And I really like how these look. And this is just good forging practice for anybody who likes this sort of thing. So now I'm going to put one just behind that and forge it out into a step down position. Okay, so now I'm going to put one about right here. I'm keeping this at a heavy angle. And I'm hammering these facets all on the same side. Then we'll go ahead and step off a little more. About the same distance. You want to get good at doing tong saws, anything like that, this is where a good forging dimension comes in. You see that? That's looking kind of neat. I'm pretty excited about that. I like that right there. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. Try to zoom you in a little closer. Can you all see that? There you go. Looks kind of neat. So I'm going to go ahead and put in one more down here, down the way. And I'll see if I can't get you guys at a little better angle so you can see what's going on here. So let me adjust you, take you on just a wee bit of a ride. Let me get your focus in a little bit better if you bear with me. Hopefully I'm in shot. I think I'm mostly in shot. I think I'm good. About right in here. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put in this final little knock here. So there we have it. Alright, so now you see it there. Kind of a neat little design. Just like so. So now we're going to go ahead and bend it up into a bit of a hook thing. Nice good hot heat. I'm going to go ahead and form this part down. And now I'm just going to take each one of these little things and bend them in. On themselves, if you will. And again, this is a bit of a weird look, I know. I know this is a bit of a weird look, but it can be kind of neat too as well. Again, I'm trying for something that is different every time. So this might not be your thing, this kind of hook end. Well, you'll have to see how it turns out here in a second. So as you see, it kind of gives it kind of a knuckle look to it. Bring this forging up a little bit. I think it looks pretty pleasing. Now I've done these the other way. I think I like it the other way a little bit better. But this almost looks like a scorpion tail. And that's kind of what I think that's what we'll call it, the scorpion. But we're going to go ahead and continue to bend that a little bit. This time we're going to use the scrolling tongs over the horn. And we're going to just adjust some things. And we're about done. Oh. Alright. So now I'm just going to take this little scorpion tip here. I'm calling it. Might as well give it a name, eh? And we're going to tweak this a little bit. Try to close those joints up a little bit better. Get them all to look nice and even. Yeah, I think that works pretty good. Yeah. Good. We'll just go with that there. And there you have it. The scorpion tail spoon. Like I said, it's kind of neat, kind of different. Might have to do some tweaking on it on this end, how that's fitting there. Might just rotate that sharp point out a little bit different. Might look neat, but who knows. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and share it around if you will. And don't forget to comment and tell me what you thought of it. And yeah, like I always say, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one.